Okay, we should be live. Gonna make sure everything is all working, and then we can begin. Audio sounds just fine. Okay, we should be good. What's going on, everybody? Weeks 3 and 4 on the slate. Congrats for what? For being special? What's good, Danny, Pokemon, SGYT, Nick and it. I almost said Nickinator. Nope, regular Nick and Little Jai. You set a new personal best for lateness. Wouldn't it be a personal best for earliness since I was earlier than normal? Isn't that how it would work? Anyway, let's look at the poll. Week 3, it looks like the Seahawks and Niners narrowly won. And then in week 4, it looks like we'll be watching the Bills and the Patriots. I was DM'd about 3 minutes ago that the numbers on the polls are very wrong, but I think they're right for me. So, I think that means we're good with those two games. So we'll be starting with the Niners and the Seahawks. They've got their little rivalry going with, of course, the Frank Jones trade, certainly heating that up. Both teams are 1-1. Most of the league is 1-1. It's been very even up to this point. If your team is 1-1, then you're a cool cookie. Siri, give me a whole number between 99 and 100. Siri picked 99, so we'll use her Seattle. One on one, gang. Yes, sir. The best team in the nation is in the chat. There we go. Who wants a nice little echo? The echo's gone. Okay, so if I know Danny's here, I don't know if Todd is here at the moment, but if both of you guys or one of you guys or whoever's here wants to pick your jerseys, now would be the time to do so. Oh, and 4, here we come. I mean, your team on paper is pretty good, so I would expect you guys aren't 0-4, but you never know. If your starting quarterback is Matt Corral, you have children chained up in your basement. Goddamn right we do. Black color rush. In that case, Niners by 40. Isn't it just these? Madden gets these mixed up. Is it the 2017 alternate? Okay, I guess it is. If Todd isn't here, we can pick Seattle's jersey. So do we want the regular away? We can do all white. Or we can do one of the throwbacks. We could also do green. You guys want green? In terms of throwbacks, we have... This is not the 2000s away jerseys. Those look a lot more recent. Yes, this is correct now. So we can do throwback or we can do extra throwback. With like the silver helmet and the old Seahawk. So do we want white, gray, green? Here are the green ones. Or throwback. Todd said he had dinner planned. Oh, fun. Hopefully Todd likes green, because it seems like green has a slight lead. I kind of want to see green, so... yeah, why not? A little green on black. Okay, so let's get this game started. Two new rivals, the Seahawks and the 49ers, battling it out here within the division. Patrick Mahomes of Texas Tech faces off against Travis Flight of Texas A&M. Common theme here, two Texas schools, but no Longhorns. Texas stays being poverty. I will hurt you. Okay. Not threatened by that. Looks like Seattle will start the ball, so we will not get to see Frank Jones first. Instead, we will get to see Patrick Mahomes the second. Hey, Nickinator, your team is now 2-2. Yeah, so you missed the entire 2 weeks. We just simulated right into week 5, and yeah, the Eagles are 2-2. They lost by 50 both times. I have 5 feet on you. What does that mean? Are you saying I'm dead? Because I'd be 5 feet under? That doesn't even make... What? Your team is now 0-4. Yeah, the Cowboys' week 2 game, it turned into a loss just because. So yeah, you guys are 0-4 and the Eagles are 2-2. And Mac Jones is going to run away with the division. It means you're short. Oh. That actually makes a lot more sense. Mahomes has got some solid weapons. Who's their running back? Oh, they have Brian Robinson, don't they? Bop, bop. Yeah, they have Brian Robinson, they have Mike Williams, they have Tyler Lockett. So, a solid group. Nothing crazy, but solid. How did Mac Jones get multiple high picks? Well, Mac Jones was really good last year. He moved up to superstar development. I still think the Commanders overpaid, but Mac Jones is, like, quietly really good. And now the Titans are rocking with Zip and Zappy. One of the quarterbacks got coached by a guy in Thailand right now in college, and the other quarterback got coached by a cheater. Because Jimbo obviously gives all of his recruits a bunch of money. Why else would Texas A&M get five stars a year? Other than the bag. Chill out, Nickinator 13. Wow, he went with the full name there. Danny means business. Yeah, I don't think Frank's even here. At least yet. But Seattle's moving it down the field pretty well. I have touched up the sliders a little bit, so hopefully there's a little more offense than we had in the last stream, where we had 1 total touchdown through 2 games. Look at B-Rob go! Breaking tackles to the 31. He begged us to watch this game just to not watch. Well, to be fair, this game is a pretty compelling matchup anyway. Look at Lockett. He takes it to the house for a touchdown. And the Seattle Seahawks strike first. I'm kind of feeling these new sliders. I know it's one drive. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Although that play wasn't even really like a product of the sliders. That play was like Tyler Lockett being good at football and like being fast. We should have watched Cowboys Jets. Why would we watch the Cowboys and the Jets? Are we sure we need the woman respecter versus Geno Smith? He said, nice job, white boy. Do I even have a white corner? I don't think anyone has a white corner because there, like, aren't any. So, probably not. Is Troy Apke listed as a corner? Probably not. Here's Travis Flight, the user quarterback, Hobie's player out of Texas A&M, the 3rd quarterback off the board behind Bryce Young, who we saw last stream with the Eagles. And, of course, Coleridge Bernard Stroud IV, who currently has the Oklahoma City Nighthawks at 2-0, playing some pretty good football. I bet it was Reed Blankenship. Well, if you have Reed Blankenship on your team, then it probably was him. Who else would it be? Even though he is a safety, he could have been lined out at corner that play. I don't know. It's possible. The Niners have Saquon Barkley, a really good offensive line, and a bunch of nobodies at wide receiver. Who's their tight end? Is he any good? I don't know. I'm still not fully knowing all of the rosters yet, considering we're in week 3 of the first season. I want to see Flight launch some balls deep. I want to see these balls taking flight. Huh? Get it? No? Okay. They have Josh Palmer. So as I was saying, their wide receivers are a bunch of nobodies. Sorry, Josh. The Broncos got Sean Payton. Are you kidding? Good for them. So he ended up taking the Denver job after all? Wow. Good for the Broncos. Everyone's saying how Denver is such a terrible job, but, like, what's better about Houston compared to Denver? He can fix Russ. Let Russ cook. Oh, it's not official, but the trade is being worked out. Okay, that makes sense. Is it going to be a first? I would not give up a first for him if I was Denver. And people say Denver does not have a first. They do have a first. They got one for Bradley Chubb from the Dolphins via San Francisco. So they have like the 28th or 29th pick in the first round. Deep shot for the end zone. It's a touchdown for the Niners by Jacoby Myers. Travis Flight let that ball take flight, and the Niners are on the board. Do you think we can beat the Cougars? I mean, it's possible. It's Madden. Anybody can beat anybody. But you guys are playing well. I still don't buy it yet because the Nighthawks were quite bad in the sim year, but who knows? C.J. Stroud looks pretty good through the first couple of weeks. What was that about trash receivers? I mean, Travis Flight gave him a perfect ball, too. You could have had Jalen Reagor on that route, and he would have maybe caught it. Maybe. All the success Travis Flight gets should get credit for me since I created him on Madden. I guess that is technically true. Why are you so mean to Josh Palmer? I don't have any issues with Josh Palmer. It's just that, like, he's average. He had 900 yards this year? I mean, that's still nothing, like, spectacular. And both Keenan and Mike Williams were banged up at different points during the year. I had a stroke reading that message. That's true. Reagor would have dropped it. He better not because he's on my team as my wide receiver. I think my wide receiver 4. So if one of my wide receivers goes down, Jalen Reagor becomes a starter. Should I be concerned about that? I mean, he's only 24. Patty Mahomes, 5 for 5 so far, looking like, you know, typical Patty Mahomes, doing his thing. Does Brian Robinson wear number 12? Why? That's like when Jonathan Taylor wore 19 last year for Dublin. Like, why? Short throw, caught by B-Rob. Two packages. So, what's the package? Is New Orleans getting the first-round pick? Two potential packages. Denver's first-round pick this year and next year's second for Peyton and the Saints' 2024 third, or Denver's 2024 first and a fourth. New Orleans gets the pick. Why would Denver give up their first-round pick next year? That seems kind of stupid. I get Denver should be better. I think Sean Payton can absolutely fix Russell Wilson. But that's bold to assume that they're going to be good. Because you got Kansas City at the top of the division. The Chargers are quite good. And the Raiders are probably going to upgrade at quarterback. There's a really good shot they add a veteran like a Tom Brady. Maybe the Raiders don't, but it seems like they're going all in on a veteran, if I were to guess, like Brady. So that's bold to assume that they're going to be good. So if I'm the Saints, I understand New Orleans doesn't have a first-round pick this year, and I'm sure they'd love to get one. But if I'm New Orleans, I'm taking the deal with the future first-round pick next year. New Orleans is going to have 2 ones next year. They'll have an opportunity to do whatever they want with their rebuild, assuming that's the route they go with, and they don't pull money out of their rear end again, which, I mean, that's what they've done for the last 5 years, so I wouldn't put it past them to do it again. Now that Octi says it's stupid, expect the Broncos to go 12-5 next year. I think it's possible. Denver is a good roster, maybe not good, but solid roster. Their defense was great. They have weapons on offense, and they have a quarterback who is more than capable of being really good. New Orleans can get Bo Nix. Exactly. They can have their choice of Bo Nix or DJ Uiagalelei with one of those first-round picks next year. Yeah, I think the Broncos could absolutely make the playoffs, but I think it's a little bit rich to bank on that in such a tough division with so many questions. But they certainly could make the playoffs if Russell Wilson is fixed, which I think he is fixable. Wow, what a catch. Holy smokes. If Russell Wilson's fixed, there's no reason to think they can't be a playoff team. Although, how much of their roster is really going to change? They don't have a ton of draft capital. They might not have a first-round pick this year if they end up trading that. So I would expect the rest of their roster is, for the most part, pretty similar. Yeah, there's been like no pass rush today. We went from the last stream where none of the quarterbacks had any time to throw to now no pass rush at all. It's weird. Not that either of these teams have like elite pass rushes. I mean, Seattle has what? Daniil Hunter. They have Big Frank. They have DeForest Buckner, too. Okay, that actually is a pretty good front unit now that I say that out loud. And the Niners have... Who do the Niners have up the middle? Oh, fumble! And it's picked up by Seattle after about 5 seconds with the ball on the ground. Devin Lloyd recovers it. Is this play going to be reviewed? Probably. That did not look like a... Oh, maybe the ball was clean out. That's not a good angle. Okay, no review. Sim? This is a good game. What are you talking about, Sim? Big run to start the drive for Brian Robinson. He's been good today as he gets 20. The 49ers have Eric Armstead, Javon... No, that's the real Niners. I meant the Niners here. Obviously, in real life, the Niners front is pretty good. I meant the OFL Niners. After Bosa, their next highest sack leader has 5. Eek. I mean, Armstead's good. Javon Kinlaw, at least on Sunday, was dreadful. There were a couple plays that circulated on the internet that were, like, hilarious of him just getting annihilated by the Eagles' offensive line, which, I mean, the Eagles' offensive line is probably the best in the league, but even so, that was ugly. Mahomes breaks the sack. Good play. Has he thrown an incompletion yet? I don't think he has. We went from no fumbles other than hit sticks to now a fumble every game. I think this is a little more realistic because fumbles happen. We don't want there to be too much, but turnovers are interesting. I feel like last year we had a lack of turnovers. It's finalized. Which package is New Orleans getting? The first package. Okay, so New Orleans is getting Denver's first-round pick this year. Why would the Saints choose that? Why would the Saints rather the Niners pick over Denver's pick next year? And then they're swapping a future 2 for a future 3. New Orleans gets the 2. I think that's a bad move by New Orleans. Yeah, the Niners pick, which is like 28 or 29. I don't remember the exact number. And a next year second for Sean Payton and a next year third. I think that's a bad decision by the Saints to take that package. Sam Hubbard with the sack. Hendon Hooker, you are a Saint. What, at pick 29? New Orleans would be pretty stupid. Although, the Saints have made a lot of stupid decisions with their roster over the last couple of years. Did the Saints maybe have enough ammo to trade up into like the teens for like a Anthony Richardson or something. They now have a possibly good second rounder next year from Denver. Although, didn't New Orleans give up their original second rounder when they moved up with the Eagles last year? Ryan's hired by the Texans. Why is everything cool happening right now? Good for the Texans. They deserve that. Those fans deserve that. I don't know what's so much better about Houston than Denver for D'Amico individually, but that's a great hire. So now they presumably have the guy who they're actually going to stick with. He signs a 6-year deal. So yeah, this isn't going to be another one and done, fire him scenario. I think the Texans have a better future than people realize. They have plenty of draft picks. They have more young talent than people realize. If they just hit on the quarterback and get their culture back, there's no reason why Houston can't be good in like 2 years. Now they have presumably what looks like a good head coach. Obviously, we don't really know that yet, but he's done well as a coordinator. The Texans would fire him after 1 year. Yeah, but this just seems like more of a long-term hire compared to a retread like Lovie Smith or David Culley, who wasn't really qualified to begin with. I will hurt myself and others. Now I see why do you think D'Amico declined the Broncos? Unless Denver wanted Sean Payton over him. If Denver chose Sean Payton, then that's one thing. But it seemed like D'Amico said no to Denver for another interview. Marvin Lewis is not that bad of a coach. I get he couldn't get the Bengals over the hump, but the guy was consistently solid. Yeah, they'll get a quarterback this year or next year. I'm not convinced they'll do it this year. I think it's obviously quite possible. They'll have at least one of Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud on the board for them at 2, and they also have 12, so they could certainly make movement with that. Maybe they prefer a Will Levis or an Anthony Richardson, but they can also wait a year if they want. They'll have 2 first-rounders next year. I'm not convinced next year's quarterback class is going to be great. Everybody's talking about how next year's quarterback class is going to be elite, which I think it's too early to say that. That's what we said about this year's quarterback class, and I would not call it elite at all. Bryce or defense? Yeah, I would personally, that's what I would decide if I was the Texans. If Bryce Young falls, which is possible, I don't know if I'd say likely, but possible, that's a good route. Or defense. You'll have at least one of Jalen Carter or Will Anderson to pick from. So I think if the Texans walk away with one of those 3, it would be a win. Travis Flight with a nice touchdown. Who's 13? Alan Lazard, the Lizard Man. Drake May is hip. Drake May was really good this year, for sure. But other than Caleb Williams, I'm not totally sold on anyone yet as being a super high pick. Yeah, right now I think Caleb Williams looks like the consensus quarterback 1 going into next year. Drake May's probably behind him. Bo, DJ, and Rattler are probably more of like later round flyers, although you guys obviously know how I feel about DJ. No quarterback has thrown an incompletion yet in this game, and it's halftime. I didn't move the quarterback accuracy up that high. I moved it up a little bit, but I think it's at like 50, which in the last stream it was at like 40 or 45. And both quarterbacks consistently threw 60 to 70%. Maybe both of these quarterbacks are just really good. I mean, obviously Mahomes is, and maybe Travis Flight is just that guy. I purposely made the sliders maybe a little bit too juiced. Which, I mean, I wasn't expecting this necessarily. Mahomes takes a shot. What is that? Whoa, did he catch that? I was about to say, what is that coverage? I didn't see the corner next to him. But that is a touchdown, although it might be coming back. Yeah, it's going to be a hold. Wow. So the Niners get bailed out by Lion legend Taylor Decker. Seattle might just run the clock out. Or, nope, they're going to run another Hail Mary. We've seen Hail Marys be very successful, at least last year in OFL 22. Haven't had one yet this year, which would make sense since we're in week 3. Mahomes has the arm strength to get it at least close. And nope, incomplete. That's our first incompletion of the game. And so that'll wrap up half number 1. It's been a fun game so far. Seattle leads 17-14, and I think the Niners start with the ball because Seattle scored on their first drive. The Broncos have traded 3 1s, 3 2s, a 5th, Drew Lock, Shelby Harris, Noah Fant, and in return, Russ, Sean Payton, a 3rd and a 4th. Eek. That's... Can we get out of the screen, EA? That's not great, Denver. 3 1s and 3 2s is a whole lot. Hey, Bears! I think this is our first Bears sighting of the year, even though the Bears aren't even in OFL 23 because they were one of the teams who relocated. Okay, I get it, EA. Can I get out of the screen? Why won't it let me leave? I got the Bears. I don't know, man. The Bears look pretty good. So I'm going to have to pick the Bears personally. Okay, there we go. I came into stream to hear Bears. What's good, Bubba? We're losing to Detroit. Our season is over. The Lions aren't very good, though. Justin Fields is not very good in Madden Sim. So you should win. I drafted Franks to fix that, and it didn't work out. Frank is only like a 75 overall. Why are we acting like this guy is going to be a dominant force right away? I mean, he's a fine starting caliber player, but he's like not insane. If you're expecting him to get double-digit sacks this year, I think you're going to be disappointed. What is my opinion about Tom Brady? That he's a loser? But my honest opinion is that he's probably going to lead the Bucs. My guess is that he ends up with the Raiders, rejoining forces with Josh McDaniels. There could be some other teams in the race, maybe the Dolphins. They've been linked to him in the past. I was going to say New Orleans, but they don't have any money. Or Sean Payton. Why would Brady want to go to New Orleans anyway? That one wouldn't make sense. San Francisco's been linked. I don't think San Francisco would. They invested so much into Trey Lance, and they have Brock Purdy too. So I don't think it would be the Niners. The Jets could work. I don't know how Brady feels about going to the Jets, but they would make sense. They have a good enough team to where I could see Brady considering it. Frank Jones is Eli Apple. That's low-key a good comparison. Decent player who talks a lot. Read option with a 68-speed quarterback, and it worked. And we have a fumble, and it's picked up by Seattle. Was that flight again? I wasn't even looking. Did he keep it himself? Yeah, they ran another read option. It kind of worked. He got like 9 yards. I get that he lost the ball, so it was a turnover, but it was a good run before he lost it. So Seattle scores. This game turns into a sim, technically. As Kenny Golladay is hurt. Oh my goodness. What are the Seahawks going to do without him? Jeez. What a big loss. Wink, wink. Wait, why did I say it's going to be a sim? It's a 3-point game. I forgot the Niners scored twice. For whatever reason, I thought it was 17-7. So apparently I can't count. But yeah, they did score twice, now that I remember. So if Seattle scores, it's not a sim, and I'm stupid. Mahomes goes downfield. What was that coverage? There was not a defender within like 15 yards of TJ Hawkinson when he caught the ball. What do you mean it turns into a sim? So for those who are new, whenever a game is like the deficit is at least 3 possessions, then we simcast it. It's not because for whatever reason I thought Seattle's up by 10. They're up by 3. So it won't be a sim if Seattle scores. But that way we just don't have to watch blowouts late in the game because it's just like, why bother? Don't blame the coverage. Mahomes had 10 seconds in the pocket. Yeah, but still, that was awful coverage. I get that, like, I mean, if Mahomes has that much time, it's only a matter of time until somebody gets open, but still, there was nobody close to him. He had time to have a glass of Chardonnay. He could have had 3 if he wanted to. People learning today that you can trade for coaches is so funny. People are learning this today. People aren't educated on the great John Gruden trade, where he eventually won a Super Bowl against a team that traded him. Does that mean Denver's going to beat New Orleans in a Super Bowl? Bold to assume either of those teams can get there anytime soon. Yes, coaches have been traded before. Teams can hold coaches' rights, like in the example with Sean Payton, and he can be traded. It happened with John Gruden 20 years ago. He was traded from the Raiders to the Bucs, and shortly thereafter, the Bucs beat the Raiders in the Super Bowl. So it is rare, but it has happened. Browns trading a 6 for Sean McVay. Book it. You know, if Sean McVay does step down, it's not going to happen this year, but if the Rams are going full rebuild, say McVay wants to step down next year, maybe he goes into broadcasting and wants to go back to coaching, depending on his contract, the Rams could get a whole lot for him in a trade. As Seattle gets the touchdown, Mike Williams with the score. Before we cut Doug, I saw someone say we should try to trade Doug. I guess in hindsight that would have worked out. You could have gotten more. What week is it? We are in week 3. So you haven't missed any other game today because this is the first game of the stream. And unlike the last stream, we actually had this beautiful thing called offense. The Niners got to respond after the turnover, though. Who forced that fumble? We can check after the game because I don't want to back into the stats and have that glitch where, like, you can't back out and you have to watch the rest of the game no matter what. Schefter just tweeted the Niners have requested to interview Chris Harris for their defensive coordinator spot. This isn't like the Chris Harris who played on the Broncos, right? This is a different Chris Harris, right? Wow, what a catch. Has he still not thrown an incompletion? Nope. Travis Flight is 15 of 15. This rookie quarterback is pretty good. Travis Flight has as many fumbles as there were touchdowns in watch games last week. I will say Travis Flight has less incompletions than touchdowns last week. Chris Harris was on a team. Was he? I know he was on the Chargers at one point. I don't know if he's still in the league, though. Let me see. Chris Harris played for New Orleans this year. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, he played 10 games for the Saints. So, yeah, that's definitely not the Bronco Chris Harris who's getting interviewed. The more you know, Chris Harris was on New Orleans this year. You learn something new every day. I'm back. What's good, Dan? Welcome back. Did you just say Chris Harris? No, this is a different Chris Harris, I think. This is not the Chris Harris who apparently, as I'm just learning now, played for the Saints. Into the fourth quarter, why did they keep running it? That time it didn't work. I mean, Travis Flight is not known for his mobility. He's known for his arm, and he has certainly showed off his arm. Yes, Sean Payton was traded to Denver, and D'Amico Ryans was hired by the Texans within the last 20 minutes. Finally, an incompletion. Third and 8. I don't think he's going to get it. Nope. 4th and 2 to 14. You're down by 10. This is an interesting call. I think they're going to kick. You could make the argument to go for it. You can make the argument either way. Do you think Washington will steal Bieniemy from the Chiefs? Honestly, if I'm Bieniemy, maybe that's a good idea for him to leave Kansas City because it doesn't seem like he's going to get a head coaching job with his current role with the Chiefs. So if he gets a bigger role on offense, maybe he will eventually be a head coach. So I don't think it's that unreasonable to think he could leave. I'd still be a little bit surprised, and it's not like Washington's offense is like that exciting to think about, but I don't think that's as crazy of an idea as people might think. Who do I have winning this game if I had $1 million on it? Probably the team who has Patrick Mahomes and the lead and the ball. The Niners could obviously win this game, but if I were to bet $1 million, I think I'd bet on Seattle. Go be the Cowboys offensive coordinator. Well, then he'd have the same role because Mike McCarthy's calling plays now. Which, I mean, that whole decision-making process is stupid on Dallas, but you do you, Dallas. Going from Mahomes to Sam Howell is a tough scene. Hey, don't disrespect Sam Howell. That's my QB2, man. Although I've kind of done a complete 180 on Kenny Pickett. I wasn't all that high on him going into the league. And now, I don't know why, I really like him. He has that dog in him. He just has like a mental edge. So he's kind of like perfect for a team like the Steelers, who's an organization who strives on winning. Ken Dorsey is there, although he also hasn't proven a lot. That is also true. He's only been the OC there for 1 year, and it's not like he lit the world on fire. Bieniemy got a request to interview for the offensive coordinator spot with the Ravens. That's kind of a fun landing spot. You get to work with Lamar Jackson. That'd be fun. Kenny Pickett is far from elite, obviously, but I don't know why. I just have a good feeling about him, which was not the case a year ago. Did he catch that? These receivers on Seattle are making some unbelievable catches. I think that's going to be an illegal touching because he was in the end zone, yeah. But still, what a catch. Do you ever want to announce our little project or... No, we got to keep it a surprise. We got to keep it on the down low. Oh, is that incomplete? Did he not catch it? It says accept or decline 4th and 5 as I go back. So he did not catch it in the end zone. Although it looked like he did. Until the Ravens traded Lamar and start Pro Bowler Tyler Huntley. Why did the NFL allow that again? Back to the Kenny Pickett point, he would have been a better choice than Tyler Huntley. Did you ever check our DMs? Which one in specific? There was a flag. Yeah, but it said if they declined the penalty, it would have still been 4th and 5. So that meant he either didn't catch it or he caught it out of the... He didn't get both feet in, which I think he caught it. So Mike White is a better choice than Huntley. Exactly. Little Josh should come in here and say Mike White deserved to be one of the original top 3 Pro Bowl quarterbacks. T-Law's, yeah, the Pro Bowlers are T-Law, Tyler Huntley, and Derek Carr. Like, what a weird trio of players. Only one of those players, I would say, was good this year. And one of those guys didn't even start. Deshaun Watson would have been a better choice, as would Jacoby Brissett. The DM, that DM about the lady. Yeah, I saw that. Flight with one arm and one leg is better than Mercado. As long as it's his right arm, then yeah, he's better, I guess. Burrow opted out. Obviously, Burrow got in, but he decided not to do it. As did, clearly every other relevant AFC quarterback. Josh Allen said no. Mahomes obviously has better things to do. I don't know who the alternates were above Tyler Huntley, but there were some obviously more deserving candidates below him. Lamar said no. I assume Lamar would have been higher. Did you check her out? I did not, because I didn't feel like it. Lane Johnson, first, I assume you mean first ballot Hall of Famer? I mean, at this point, that's a fair case to make. Lane Johnson has been one of the best players at his position for a decade. He's won a ring. He might win another one. He was suspended for PEDs 3 times in his career, though. So that might be a black eye that takes him out, compared to, Jason Kelsey, who doesn't have 3 PED suspensions. Although Lane Johnson hasn't had any suspensions in the last 5 years, dear God, another fumble. The Niners have coughed it up 3 times today. Yeah, Tua is above him too, and he is still concussed. I thought Lane Johnson got suspended multiple times. Maybe not 3, but at least twice. Did we just fumble again? No, your eyes are deceiving you. You guys just scored. It's a 3-point game. We're now at the 2-minute warning. We'll see if Seattle can finish off the job. Brian Robinson's playing well, so he got suspended 4 games in 2014. I feel like he got suspended again, though. Yeah, Lane Johnson suspended 10 games for PEDs. When was this written? 2016. So he got suspended in 2014 and then 2016. So that's multiple PED suspensions. That could keep him out. How do you handle the custom prospects? Well, I'm not making the draft classes, at least for... Actually, I'm not making the draft classes at all, because Nick did it last year. He's doing it again, so he's going to put all the custom prospects into the draft class. And then after this year, boom, he's going to do the draft classes. Ah, see? I didn't know that. Well, yeah, Lane Johnson was suspended twice. So, if it happens once, I don't think... Whoa, what a punt. Almost. Wow, that was close. But yeah, getting suspended once, I think, is one thing, but for it to happen again, I think is telling. Although he hasn't been suspended since then, and he's been awfully good since then. Well, yeah, the draft class will have the real 2024 prospects. So Caleb Williams, Drake May, all those guys are going to be there. Bo Nix, DJ, a.k.a. my second and third string quarterbacks next year. Do I think D-Hop is a Hall of Famer? At this point, probably. Because DeAndre Hopkins has been really good for a decade. There was a 2 or 3 year stretch where he was probably the best receiver in the league. So, probably. And he's still got some more years left in him. Where that will be, who knows? Cough, Baltimore, get him. Cough. As Travis Flight is picked off, I think that's your ball game. So Seattle forces the turnover. Who's 29? I want to say that's Earl Thomas, but obviously it's not. Casey Hayward. Overall, a fun game. The sliders felt good. Denver tried to convince Ryan to take their job, but when he told them he was talking to the Texans, they traded for Peyton. Okay, so Denver was very interested in him for good reason, and Ryan said no, because I guess it kind of worked out. Maybe Denver wanted Peyton more. So I would say it worked out for everybody, except for maybe DeMeco Ryans, but I think the Texans are going to be committed to him. So I think he'll be fine there. I don't think Houston's going to consider letting him go early. I mean, for one thing, they just can't do that again, or else who's going to want to coach there? And secondly, he signed a 6-year deal, so he's not going anywhere. As we take a look at the numbers, both quarterbacks played quite well. I'm impressed with Travis Flight. He had a good game, and obviously Mahomes is really good. The difference was definitely the 4 turnovers. The Niners fumbled it 3 times, 1 from Jacoby Myers, 1 from Flight, and then they had another one from one of their receivers. Whoa, Jacoby Myers, hello. 11 for 138 and a score. Hawkinson was good. Tyler Lockett with 2 touchdowns. Scores for Mike Williams and the Lizard Man. Only 1 sack by Sam Hubbard. Jalen Hyatt had 2 tackles. How about our boy Frank? How did he do? I don't even see him. Is he not here? Did he not record a stat? Frank Jones had 0 tackles. Jalen Hyatt, the wide receiver, had 2. That's concerning. Frank Jones is an every down starter. Oh, I wanted to check who forced the fumble. Or the fumbles, plural. Because there was 3 of them. So does Frank Jones get to talk smack? Because his team won, but he did nothing. So who gets to talk? I mean, Todd gets to talk because his team won the game. All right, the fumble forces were by Tyree Wilson, Ronnie Harrison, and Devin Lloyd. Harrison and Lloyd recovered fumbles along with Derek Nottie. Frank Jones is literally Eli Apple. Octi, he's coming. Pause. Whoa, okay. All right, let's see him. Please don't lose, team. I don't really want to lose to a division rival. Are we, like, up next? We're one of the first teams. Or the Steelers are, and they play us, so we're technically one of the first teams. The Orbits beat the Snowhawks 35-21. It appears Mercy Mercado has figured some things out. Yeah, he played fine. The MILF Hunter also had his best game. C-Mill was just talking about you. Oh. Okay. Russell Gage with a big game for Portland. The Steamers fall to the Broncos 37-10. Ouch. Kenny Pickett, as I said earlier, has that dog in him, whereas Trey Lance, at least in this game, did not. Jonathan Taylor played well. Bijan, not so much, although he did score. Rondell Moore of over 100 yards, or not over 100 yards, exactly 100. Treylon Burks, 1 shy. All right, we're next. Please win. Please. Please. Yay! We won! 28-21. Despite a nice little fourth quarter comeback from the Steelers, the Bengals get the job done with 4 touchdowns from QB1, Matt Corral, who had his best game of the year. Joe Burrow was pretty average. Corral only got sacked 3 times today. That's improvement. Our elite offensive line should not be allowing 3 sacks, but compared to last week, it's progress. Travis Kelce was really good. T. Higgins finally had a good game. No, where's J-Mo? 1 catch for 5 yards. What are you doing, big guy? As for the defense, big game for Kenneth Murray. Nice. 2 sacks for Brian Brzee and J.J. Watt. And then interceptions for Tranquil. And why is Uchenna Nwosu in coverage? Why? I have him as my 3-4 outside linebacker, so I guess he'll be in coverage rarely, but occasionally. I am using the Steelers playbook, so now that I think about it, they do put their linebackers in coverage sometimes. So I guess that makes a little bit of sense. The Texans lose to the Oilers 20-17. Isaiah Thomas was pretty good. Nothing spectacular, but solid. He did outplay Lamar Jackson. No one ran the ball well. Whoa! Calvin Mentor, hello! 13 catches, 218 yards, and a touchdown for the Rook. Wow! Friends University's finest. Good for him. The Titans win their first game of the Zippin' Zappy era in overtime, beating the Colts. Zippin' Zappy played out of his mind. Whereas Kirk Cousins, not so much. Tyquan Thornton, who Tennessee just acquired with a big game himself. 2.5 sacks for Leonard Williams, despite the loss. Calvin Mentor, who isn't Calvin Mentor like 5'8", though? I think he's small. So I don't think he's Julio or Calvin. But he is really good. Minnesota beats the Desperados in overtime, 41-35. Tua and Kyler Murray with 4 touchdowns each. Austin Eckler was actually kind of bad. DK Metcalf was not bad. Why are so many receivers having like ridiculous games? DK 13 for 117 and 2. Juju 17 for 116 and 3. Calvin Mentor is a better version of Greg Dortch. There you go. Tua had 499 yards? Oh my goodness, he did. Holy cow. That's a lot. AJ Terrell, OFL 22 Viking legend with a pick against the Vikings, ironically. Of course he would. AJ Terrell loves making the Vikings lose any chance he gets. If I lose to you this week, you didn't do my schemes and depth chart right. So the undefeated Bills fall to the Golden Eagles 15-30. Jacoby Brissett outplays Trevor Lawrence, who threw 3 interceptions. And Stetson Bennett even got to throw. Mr. Public Intoxication himself. Van Jefferson and Jamison Crowder played well. Greg Dortch with 3 catches. Kind of a quiet game for him, I guess. Eric Armstead, 2 sacks. Will Anderson had 1. The Broncos won. We saw that. The Chargers are 0-3 as they fall to New England, 23-16. Josh Allen and Justin Herbert were both pretty mediocre, to be honest. We'll get to watch New England this week as they play against Buffalo, who is coming off a loss. So what, both of these teams are 2-1? Because New England beat us, and they lost to somebody last week, and they won this game, so they're 2-1. The Colts lost. The Commanders win their first game of the Mac Jones era, 34-21. Looks like Mac played pretty well. Kind of, I guess. He completed 78% of his passes, so that's good. Dak Prescott was solid. Kamara and Najee both ran wild with almost 250 combined rushing yards on like a total of 10 yards a carry between the two of them. So Washington just ran the ball down their throats pretty much. A lot of sacks. 2.5 for Donald, 2 for Bilal Nichols, 2 for Jonathan Cooper. So Washington just needed Mac Jones to play adequately, which he certainly did. The Cougars beat the Eagles 31-28, so the Eagles are now no longer undefeated. 2 running back systems never work unless you're my division rival. Yeah, I don't know how Jack's got that to work, but he did. It's working. I think he made Najee the starter. So could it be that Najee's lower rated and the game wants to get Kamara some touches too? That would make sense. Let Russ cook. He certainly cooked today with 4 touchdowns. Bryce Young was pretty good as well. CMC was phenomenal for the Eagles, as was Josh Jacobs. Chase Claypool, the big game. Miles Murphy's been pretty good. Dallas loses to the Jets, 31-42. Why am I looking at an OFL 22 Browns score? Geno Smith threw for a whole lot of touchdowns, 6 scores and 2 interceptions. Deshaun Watson with a busy day. His favorite number in terms of his completion percentage, because of course he did. But yeah, Geno Smith threw 6 touchdowns. Why is Nick Chubb not getting the ball? He got 1 carry last week. He had like 8 the week before. Nick Chubb has like 15 touches through 3 weeks. What is going on in Dallas? Does he just, like, is he getting injuries? What's happening? Why is Nick Chubb not getting the ball? I don't get it. I'm so confused. After this game, we need to see how many touches he has. I literally think it's under 15. Imagine paying money to Deshaun Watson. Well, it hasn't worked so far. The Panthers are 3-0. Why? This makes no sense. P.J. Walker was honestly not even good today, and they still won. The Dreadnoughts fall to 0-3 despite a nice game from Jalen Hurts. Zakai Ross was the leading receiver. How did Carolina win this game? Wait, no. Did the Dreadnoughts win? I'm blind. Forget what I just said. The Dreadnoughts literally won the game. How would Jalen Hurts have thrown 3 touchdowns and the Dreadnoughts would have scored 17 points? Silly me. Okay. The Panthers lost. Let's forget that happened. The Raiders beat the Explorers 24-13. Desmond Ridder was solid. Hector Estrada the fifth, not really. Coming back down to earth after a hot start. Both of their rookie corners, Keely Ringo and Christian Gonzalez, with an interception. Christian Gonzalez should be in Cincinnati, but oh well. The Niners lost. We obviously watched that. The Golden Eagles won. The Jets won. The Lions are 0-3. They lose to the Monarchs 35-21. Aaron Rodgers with 5 touchdowns. Justin Fields was fine, I guess, for his standards in this game. Nice amount of rushing yards for Khalil Herbert, and I think David Montgomery comes back this week. Dawson Knox, hotty toddy, with a nice day. Josh Jones allowed 3 sacks. I assume Trey Hendrickson had a feast. Not really. He had 1. Dre Greenlaw had 1.5. The Nighthawks beat the Ravens 21-17. The Nighthawks are 3-0. Nobody scored in the first half. This really was the week of offense. Matt Corral threw 4 touchdowns, and that's like not even a big deal compared to everybody else. There's a lot of interceptions, too. Sam Darnold threw 2. Stroud did not throw any. Kayshon Butte. Why is it like every game's leading receiver is a rookie? Kayshon Butte adding to that list. 2 sacks for Cam Jordan. Darnold doing his job for our tank. Salute to you, good sir. I cannot wait to sack Caleb Williams 6 times in a watch game next year. That's going to be great. How many teams are undefeated? Pretty much all the undefeated teams lost. I don't know if anybody's undefeated. That's crazy. Other than the Nighthawks. The Nighthawks haven't lost. The Lions haven't won. I don't know if anybody else is like perfect or winless. The Nighthawks, yeah, they're the only undefeated team through 3 weeks. The Lions and the Chargers are the only winless teams. Okay, I forgot about the Chargers. Although I think they'll pick it up. Did you rig this against me? I promise I did not. Typical Giddy being under. Yeah, knowing Giddy, the Nighthawks are going to start 6-0, and they're going to finish 8-9 and get 3rd place in the division. Players of the week: Tua Tagovailoa, Geno Smith, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, and Leonard Williams. Okay, I have to see how many times Nick Chubb has gotten the ball. This is wild. 14. So I underestimated it. He's gotten the ball 14 times and is averaging 10 yards a carry. Did he get hurt this week? No, he's fine. What's happening? Why is he not getting the ball? 9 carries, 1 carry, 4 carries, including a long run of 70 yards. He played 50 snaps this week and got 4 carries. How does that make sense? How does Nick Chubb get 50 snaps and gets 4 carries? I am so confused. Check the depth chart. Dallas's depth chart? Obviously, Nick made him the starter. Clearly, last week he got hurt. That's why he would have only gotten 1 snap. But what's the deal this week? Is J.K. like the 3rd down back? Yep. No, Nick Chubb is the starter across the board. What playbook is Nick using? Dallas is. I thought he was on the Bucs playbook. That's weird. I definitely know I changed it. Because I remember Nick was like, he switched it twice. Now he wants it to be the Titans, so we can switch it over there, unless he does want to stick with the Bucs. Why would it have been on Dallas, though? I know I changed it. Bucs it is. Okay. Defensive playbook should be the Steelers, too. Why did his playbook changes not save? Did this happen to everybody else? I would hope not. I vividly remember changing them because I know you had put in like a separate message not too long with a different playbook, so I remember doing it. That's weird. third running back is the lead runner. I guess so. Pierre Strong Jr. season, South Dakota State's finest. I'm not going to check everybody's playbook. Here, we'll check the Bills. The Bills are none of these saved. Half of these didn't save. This is so weird. I know I did all of these. Most of these are the default. Why? You know what I think happened? I know exactly what happened. So I made all of the playbook changes when everybody was an owner. But now since I edited them to coaches, they were given the default playbooks. Which is weird because I literally checked for that after I made the first couple of coaches and nothing happened. This explains so much. What about our playbook? Yeah, it's the Bengals. Huh. Well, I'll fix all these now. I know it'll be like an extra 10 or 15 minutes, but I'll switch it for everybody. That's so weird. So clearly when I made everybody coaches, it switched to whatever the default was. That makes so much more sense. But the weird thing was when I switched the first few coaches, I made sure to check the depth chart and the playbooks were the same. So maybe it happened when I simulated from the preseason to the regular season. I don't know. That's weird. So if I've been running a 4-3 scheme the whole time, no wonder Uchenna Nwosu was in coverage. And I think I was already running the spread, so that's fine. That's so weird. Okay, this will take extra time, but since everybody wants their playbooks to what it is, for good reason, then I'll fix it. That doesn't explain why Nick Chubb has gotten the ball 4 times, though, last week. That doesn't explain that. So I'll try to get through these quickly. EA just stays taking L's. Best 3-4 fit. That would be 95%. Right? Wasn't there a 95% here? Maybe it was just 90. And then vertical zone run, it's already there. I wish you could just like do it like this, but I have to switch to the team. That's so stupid. I did rig this. Technically, I would have rigged it against everybody then. I think it'll save this time because I'm not editing and creating new coaches. That had to have been the issue. So probably the scheme changes that I've made recently saved. Like, who would, maybe the Titans. The Titans put their stuff in recently. Okay, maybe not them. Has anyone put their playbook changes in, like, within the last day? Maybe the Orbits did something. What does it say for them? Yeah, the Orbits put in the Chiefs' offense, and it's there. So that saved. That's just so odd. All right, Garrett's schemes are already where he wants them. Good. No wonder why Mercy Mercado played decently this week, because they had the right one. It would probably be a little bit easier if you're here, if you could put your schemes and playbooks in the schemes thing now. Oh, the Chargers one is good. I already switched the Chargers one. That's right. Yeah, because the Chargers did theirs recently, so theirs is right for this week. It wasn't right the first 2 weeks, but it was right this time. So that explains it. Thanks, EA, for really doing me a solid here. Okay, Jose hasn't put anything in the schemes tab since 2020. So they are, I guess, going to stick with whatever the default is. All right, next up is the commies. Wow, they have a whole lot of yellow on this offense. Oh, they're still in the R section of their name. Madden has not fixed that. Of course they haven't. .46 vertical zone run. Perfect. Did the scheme save? Because everybody has, like, the same schemes. So maybe the playbook switched, but the scheme stayed the same. Although my schemes didn't save, because I wanted to run a 3-4. I don't know. I'm not going to try to figure it out. Yeah, the Cougars' schemes are the exact same, but the playbooks aren't. So maybe the game just switched the playbooks, which I think is more important than the scheme. I think the playbook is actually what matters. The scheme just affects, like, scheme fit, I think. I could be wrong. Yeah, I'll check the Ravens to make sure they're running a 3-4, although they do. So it should be good. Yeah, disguised 3-4. Okay, so now Dallas wants the Titans. So Nick Chubb actually, gets the ball. Although the Titans is a pretty good pass playbook, I think, too. I think. I mean, it was clearly for Mac Jones last year. Unless Vatchen changed their scheme, which I don't remember. If your scheme doesn't match your playbook, you do a little worse in sim. That could make sense. I don't know how much the scheme is important other than scheme fits, but that would make sense. Did the Desperados do anything to their playbook? I don't know. Let's see. No, he has not typed in anything there since November. What about the Dreads? Did Ismu touch his playbook? Why can't I find Ismu's thing here? There it is. Yeah, he changed it. The biggest loser of the playbook mess up is me. Never change EA. It's Nick Chubb's fault, or I guess Dallas's fault, for giving him 4 carries. That's why we have to go through this whole fiasco. So no wonder Matt Corral only threw 4 touchdowns, because he wasn't in the correct playbook. So now he's going to consistently throw for 6 a game, which is what he should be doing. Totally no bias there. Definitely not wrong about that. 4-3, and then best fit. They have 2 at 81, so we'll just go with that. Instead of 4 touchdowns, Matt Corral will throw for 0. I don't think so, buddy. If Matt Corral can throw for 4 touchdowns in the wrong playbook, who knows what he can do on the right one? Maybe I lost to Hector because of the playbook not saving. Although Hector's playbooks also didn't save. This affected pretty much everybody. So it's not like one person got individually entirely screwed over because everybody's stuff was wrong. All right, 71. Nick Chubb getting less carries than Deshaun Watson and J.K. Dobbins led to this. Yeah, the schemes had to have saved because the Bears run a 4-3, and the scheme here is disguised 3-4. And the Explorers request was the 3-4 best fit, which 95% is probably their best fit. So all of the scheme saved. Why would the scheme save but not the playbooks? That makes no sense. These are like different coaches, so why would the playbooks not carry over if the schemes do? Imagine running a different playbook. Well, you're lucky, I guess. Although that's not a flex. I've never seen the Jets' offense, their offensive playbook, be like magically successful. Although maybe it is, and I just don't realize. Geno Smith had 6 touchdowns at the Jets playbook. Yeah, but he played Dallas, and Nick's defense and OFL just like, they don't want to win. They don't want to try. So I don't know if that's a flex. Josh said, let me copy the most mid team. Don't disrespect my second team, the New York Jets. They are pretty mid, though. You're not wrong. But hey, mid is improvement. When they get someone not named Aaron Rodgers at quarterback next year, they'll hopefully be good. Because my agenda will be correct, and the Packers don't get any assets for Aaron Rodgers. Win-win. Bragging about throwing 6 touchdowns against my defense is bragging that you beat up a Make-A-Wish kid. You know how everyone's like Discord name has like numbers next to it? Hector's number is 6666. Why? Oh, the Jets didn't switch theirs, did they? Offensive playbook Seahawks, but that was for Vesemir, so yeah, no, he didn't touch it. The Lions didn't change their playbooks, they only changed their scheme, so theirs carried over. So they have no excuse for being 0-3, clearly. Or not. Oh, did you say best fit? Yeah, I can do that real quick. This would have never happened on Madden 12. Hashtag switch to Madden 12. Yeah, but Matt Corral's not in Madden 12. Okay, so he only changed his defense. Although he had set his offense back in December. So we'll just go with whatever that is. Kansas City, he wanted to switch it to 46. And Cleveland. Matt Corral is the greatest quarterback of all time. I agree. That's a good take. Frank is 7 foot Tony Snell. Tony Snell also is famous for the graphic where he was perfect. 20-something points on perfect shooting. Frank got doubled every play and forced flight to keep the read options. You know what? I like the positive outlook. You're probably wrong because they have DeForest Buckner and Danielle Hunter, but I like the positive outlook. All right, the offense was already the best fit, and defense is 92. Mark Sanchez or Colt McCoy, whatever floats your boat. Mark Sanchez made 2 AFC championships, so I guess that'll float my boat. I guess the Nighthawks are probably one of the winners of this playbook thing because they're 3-0. And now he gets to run the Bucs playbook. So now CJ Stroud is just going to become like Jesus. Did John Johnson do anything? Well, we've only done 1 week so far. John Johnson's team won. I didn't notice if he had any important stats, but his team won. So that's good, I guess. No Bears. Frank plays nose to get Buckner open looks. I guess you're not wrong. I mean, if you're a nose tackle, you can't expect to get a bazillion sacks. So, I guess that's fair. And Frank's team won, so who really has the last laugh here? Didn't I already... Isn't the Orbits playbook correct? Yeah, theirs is good. So what do you guys want to talk about as we do playbooks for the next 10 minutes? How stupid EA is? Did Mr. Rob touch... I don't think Mr. Rob touched his. So all the good teams didn't change their playbooks. Yeah, Mr. Rob has not said anything in the schemes chat since January of last year. The political and economic state of the world. That's what we need to talk about here for the next 10 minutes. Who's the biggest non-bust quarterback of all time? Trent Richardson is a good answer. Tony Mandarich, was that his name? The offensive lineman that the Packers took in the top 5 that included Deion Sanders, Barry Sanders, and Troy Aikman? He's a good answer. Your mom. That's also a good answer. Eric Fisher was good, though. He was or maybe not good, but he was a serviceable starter for a while. Didn't he win a ring? He probably shouldn't have been the number 1 pick in hindsight. But the guy everyone thought was going to be the number 1 pick that year, Luke Joeckel, was even worse. Luke Joeckel was also an acceptable answer to the question. He was not good, and he was supposed to be really good. And then the 3rd tackle pick that year was Lane Johnson, who obviously was quite good. And still is quite good. Yeah, I think Tony Mandarich was the steroids guy. All right, I think we're getting close to the end. We probably have like 7 or 8 more teams, and then we're done. And then we can get back to the good stuff. How many more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 9 more. Yeah, so we have like a quarter left. We're almost there, guys. We can push through. Never forget the Eagles picked Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson. Luca's one thing in the scheme chat, defense, offensive linebacker, rushing, highest fit. What does that even mean? I guess something in 3-4? I guess? I mean, the Rams already run a 3-4, and that's what the scheme is, so that works. We won 14 games. Yeah, you want to win 16 if Justin Jefferson was on your team. Oh, we already did the Ravens, so they're good. We don't need Jettas. I mean, I guess you don't need them, but it'd be nice to have them. Seahawks is good. Why is theirs good? I have not touched the Seahawks schemes. Why is theirs correct? Todd last typed on January 8th in the scheme chat, but theirs is correct. Why is Seattle's good and nobody else's? Does Madden like Todd? That's so odd. Because we are a good team. Okay, fair enough. Oh, this is the Snowhawks. I accidentally typed in the Steamers. We'll do the Steamers first because I typed it in on the thing. People are already calling the Eagles Super Bowl ring Mickey Mouse. How? How is their first, I assume you mean their first championship, how is that Mickey Mouse, unless you mean this one? I've seen some things that have said the Eagles' path is like really easy, which is stupid. They won 14 games this year. It's not like they won 8. They had the best roster in the league by a landslide, I think. No, this one. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Like, I get the Giants are the Giants, and the Niners did not have a quarterback in the second half, but that's still like kind of a bad excuse. The Eagles outscored those teams 69-14, so it's not like they were close. Yes, everybody's schemes, or no, everybody's playbooks were like deleted because when I changed the owners into coaches, the playbooks went back to the default for Lord knows what reason. So that's why I'm editing them all now. Because Madden's stupid. Frank on Twitter got double teamed so many times I was looking like Danny's mother. Good lord. Jeez. Okay. That's a quote, all right. I already edited the Explorers. You guys have whatever you last put it as. Like, the Eagles should get a time machine and have to play the Joe Montana 49ers. Hell, the Eagles would probably still win. I mean, I don't know exactly how good the Niners roster was in the 90s. I know they had Joe Montana and Jerry Rice, and they won like 3 or 4 championships. We have not simmed week 4 yet. We are about to start week 4. We are just a little bit behind because of this whole playbook fiasco. Could this have happened last year too? Because I remember the first year of OFL 22, I found out I was using the Vikings playbook for like a season and a half, and I didn't even realize it. So this could have happened last year, and I didn't even know. No wonder we never got out of the divisional round. It's not like we had our playbook available the other 4 years. All right, we have one more, and then we're done. Finally, and then we can get to week 4. Your depth chart is messed up. Huh? I think the depth charts are right. If not, then we are going to have a problem, EA. What part of your depth chart is wrong? Because I can fix it real quick. Pacheco and Tucker. I thought we switched Pacheco and Tucker. I can switch those back. Didn't we literally do that during the last stream on camera? Yeah, we did. Yeah, I could have sworn we made Tucker the starter last time, and he had that like bad game. Why did the game make Pacheco? Where's? Oh, he's hurt. Oh, that's why he's not starting, because he's injured. That explains a lot. Okay, that makes sense. What happened to Sean Tucker? Oh no, not Sean. Mine is wrong as well. How's yours wrong? I can fix it. Sean Tucker ruptured his disc. I am not pleased that we don't get to play against Sean Tucker. And it's not because he's been bad, which he has been bad. Played pretty well. Actually, no, he didn't. He had 2.9 yards to carry. Okay, scratch that. Charlie Jones should be either 3 or 4. Did the game change that? I definitely remember looking at your depth chart and being like, wow, he has Charlie Jones at 3 or 4 or whatever. Why is EA so annoying? Maybe he's hurt too. Where's Charlie? Where is he? You know what I think happened? I know exactly what happened. You might not have cut your roster down enough, and he probably got cut. No? Then what? Am I like blind? Am I blind? He didn't get a cut. Let me check again. I could have easily missed his name. Maybe he's hurt. This is so odd. Where is Charlie? Charlie Jones just magically retired. He has to be hurt. What in the world is happening? Everybody's depth chart should be correct. The issue with the Texans one was an injury. And I don't know where the hell Charlie Jones is. Yep, he's not in here. Well, we can check practice squad eligible. Oh, no one fits the criteria. Is he on a practice squad? Nope. So he's not in free agency. He's on a team. And it should be the Explorers. Charlie Jones plays for Purdue in real life. He's a real person. He is not on the roster of the Explorers. So that means he's on a team. Nope. He's not here. He literally just disappeared. Charlie Jones disappeared off the face of the earth. How does that happen? Did he just disappear? I have never seen this before. He's not in the game. Where is he? Is he a different position now? He just disappeared. So Charlie Jones has just been Thanos snapped off the face of the earth. Huh. That's so odd. He's just gone. This is a meme of the year candidate. This is kind of funny. Let's check practice squad. That's a good idea. But although we checked in free agency, he wasn't there. He wasn't on anyone's practice squad in free agency. He's just gone. He was like, he wasn't all that good, so it's not really that big of a deal, I guess, but still. That's so weird. Is he in their transactions? Huh. Explorers signed Charlie Oh. He's on their practice squad. Oh, that makes sense. What just happened? Did I just back out by accident? If all the playbooks didn't save just now, I'm going to be livid. He's on the practice squad. That would explain it. But why didn't he show up in free agency on anyone's practice squad? So maybe he isn't there. Hold on, let me check if the playbook saved. First of all. It should have auto-saved. Yes, thank the Lord. I would not have wanted to do that again. Okay, I'll check the Explorers practice squad, but he wasn't in free agency listed on a practice squad, unless he's not 21. That might be it. He might be older. Yeah, he's 22. Okay. There we go. So I assume you want him on your active roster. I guess the game did that because he didn't cut your roster down? Maybe, I guess? So you'll have to cut someone else. I'm not checking everyone's attributes right now. We're already like 40 minutes behind because of this whole situation with the playbooks and now Charlie Jones. And then we can finally get to watching. Thank the Lord. Okay, we'll sign him to the roster. We'll make him, what, wide receiver 4? Is that where you want him? You're going to have to cut someone else or put someone else on a practice squad. So you'll have to do that first. Yeah, there's Charlie Jones. If you want to cut a receiver, here are your choices. Wide receiver 3. Okay. I like my Green Bay defensive playbook. Good. I'm happy you like it. So which one of these scrubs do you want to cut or put on the practice squad? Yeah, cut Chris Godwin. I thought it said Garrett Wilson for a second. I was like, what the hell? Lowest overall. Garrett Wilson's white brother, Garrett Nelson. And then Charlie should be wide receiver. That's not depth charts. And then we can finally get into week 4. Thank the Lord. This was a process, guys. I apologize for all of this. Although, I guess none of it was really my fault. Okay, let me double check the order of your specific depth chart. Just so I can get this correct. And then we can get back to week 4. Okay, yeah, Godwin, Johnston is 2. Charlie and Kirk. Why is Christian Kirk wide receiver 4? That's my question. And then Christian Kirk should be in the slot. Not Chris Godwin. There we go. Okay, now we're good. All right, let's get into week 4. So we're watching the Bills in New England, right? Who's home? The Bills are. Siri, give me a whole number between 68 and 69. Oh, man, Siri picked 68. Okay, that's New England. Christian Kirk is the slot receiver, so he'll still get a lot of playing time. That's not, like, that big of a deal. All Reds, 90s helmets. Right as Nick says, Bill should wear the color rush with the 90s helmets. There you go. Good choice. Yeah, this is kind of nice. I'm assuming that's the right helmet. Do you mean the red helmet or the 90s helmets? 90s helmets. These ones? This is a fire jersey combo. Holy cow. Is Dan here? I don't know if Dan's here. Did you play good week 3? You played fine, and your team won. So, yeah, pretty good week 3 for you. All right, what do we want for New England? They can go blue. They can go white. We can go with the old throwbacks with the guy snapping the ball. Probably don't want them wearing red, though. This is cool. I feel like we've worn this in the shoulders are stupid, but the rest is fine. All blues. Oh, that's just regular home jerseys, right? Yeah. Why did the Bills bring back the red helmet? I honestly prefer the white helmets. I think the white helmets look cleaner. I think, like, the all-red jersey combo is cool because everything's red. But with the blue, like, the normal blue jerseys, I think the white helmet looks better, in my opinion. Hope they tie. All right, let's get into it. Week 4, Josh Allen and the Patriots facing off against Trevor Lawrence and the Buffalo Bills. Who's jumping into tables today here in Buffalo? Everyone's playbooks are now accurate, so you'll finally get a fair representation of what your team truly looks like, except for the few people who were lucky enough to have their playbooks correct. Bills by 52. I mean, New England's pretty good. They're 2-1. New England's the only team to have beaten us so far. Now that I think about it, we've had a pretty hard schedule so far. So I guess it's impressive that we're 2-1. Are you ready to rumble? I know the Bills fans are ready to rumble into those plastic tables. As New England starts with the ball, we'll get a look at Josh Allen. He's used to playing in this building, so it's nothing new for him. Octi rigged the game again. How would I have rigged it? Explain to me, young sir, because I don't know how I could have rigged it. Josh Allen, 0 interceptions this year. That's good. Oh, that was almost intercepted. Josh Allen in a Patriots jersey makes me puke. What's worse, Josh Allen in New England or Joe Burrow in Pittsburgh? Joe Burrow lost to his real-life team in Week 3. Will Josh Allen do the same in Week 4? Are you ready to fumble? Was that the pep talk in San Francisco last week? It probably was. You bribed the refs to call roughing the passer calls and DPIs against our team for no reason. Since you're the commish, you were able to afford them. Huh. I don't know how I can bribe the refs with real money when the refs are in a video game. I'm curious to see how that could have possibly worked. Here's a nice run for Travis Etienne. He had a big game last week for New England in their win over somebody who I don't remember, but they won. I mean Madden money. What, cap space? I'm not giving up my cap space. I've worked so hard to keep my cap space at a good number and not take on any cap penalty. Or, like, minimal cap penalty. I think I only have, like, $1 million in penalty, whereas the Eagles have damn near $100 million. And there are some other teams not too far behind them. From your commish money. So what, I just randomly have, like, Madden Monopoly money for being the commissioner? And I give it to the refs? That's, wow. Spot on. The game's 100% believes the Damar Hamlin conspiracy theory. The game's is the one who probably created it. That's what happened. He's the one who came up with the idea that Damar Hamlin is not alive. There is video of Damar. Oh, I know. People are just stupid. Were your playbooks right? They were not right. 90% of the leagues were not right, including you guys. But, I mean, you did win 3 games with the wrong playbooks, so I guess you got lucky. Travis Etienne with the touchdown. New England strikes first. I never believed he died. Good. Good. My dad told my aunt that theory, and she ate it up. Ate it up as in, like, that's really funny, or ate it up as in, like, she completely believes it? It would have been cool to see a Super Bowl between Doug Peterson and Nick Sirianni. It would have been the Doug Peterson Bowl, but now we get the Andy Reid Bowl. She completely believes it. Dear God. Doesn't the commissioner already pay the refs? You know, you might be onto something. So, like, if Roger Goodell had a team, they would get all the calls? That makes sense. If you believe that, speak up now so I can ban you. Good idea. I bet we're losing by 60 to heck. Do you guys play each other this week? Golden Eagles are playing some good football. I think they're 2-1. They've won 2 in a row. Brissett is winning the Super Bowl. What's the Super Bowl? I don't know what that is. That doesn't exist here. That's not a thing. How are you playing Madden and playing football at the same time? I'm just him. I just threw that pass. That is T-Law. Or, in other words, that is yours truly. If we lose to the Niners, it's time to call it a career. It's been real coaching. When Nick Chubb gets 6 carries and loses to the 49ers, that's going to hit different. Did Zeke die? Apparently Nick Chubb died, so Zeke, too, might have. I want to make the OFL Bowl and have DJ Reed steal the game Tracy Porter style. Oh my lord, what a punt. Down at the 2. If DJ Reader does the Tracy Porter with a game-winning pick 6, then I will twerk on camera. How about that? Act like me for this drive. Okay, I will. The Bills don't look very good so far on defense. Those neo-fascist losers. They've got to get it together or else, you know what? I think the Bills are going to lose this game by 50. Josh Allen is the greatest thing to ever happen to the world. Terrell Burgess is a wuss. Get back up and get on the field, Terrell. Anyway, Josh Allen is like the greatest player of all time. He's going to win the next 17 OFL Bowls with New England. Dan Dutton is the greatest coach to ever coach in the history of this league, and we must bow down to him, our graceful Dan Dutton. Should I stop or should I keep going? This is honestly fun. I'm enjoying this. This is a blast. No wonder the games keeps doing this. It's fun. Keep going, keep going. Okay, I will. Travis Etienne might be faster than, like, Usain Bolt. It's 7-0. New England is dominating. You know what? Stop the game. Stop the season. New England they're the best team in the league. They're going to win the OFL Bowl. Let's schedule the parade now, okay? Stop it all. New England's parade will be on February 13th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We don't need to see what happens the rest of the year because it's so obvious that that's what's going to happen. If you stop right now, you can put it on Echo. Do I even want to put it on Echo? These refs are so stupid. Like, the Bills' defensive line has been holding the entire drive. Our graceful Commissioner Octi, who we need to bow down to, by the way, is paying these refs Madden Monopoly money. Talk about guillotines. Has the games ever talked about a guillotine? Trevor Lawrence needs to put his head through the guillotine. He is a fraud. Okay, the drive's over. I can stop now. That was fun. Talk like Hector. Greg Dortch, his package. He may be 5'6", but he's got 7 inches elsewhere. That's all for Hector. Okay, I'll stop. That was fun. Trevor Lawrence, you neo-fascist son of a gun. First quarter in the books. New England looks pretty good. They lead 7-0. The Bills' offense hasn't done a whole lot yet. They have 14 total yards, more than half of which came on this last play. I'm scared to say this. Talk like me. Jalen Hurts sucks. We need to trade up for Bryce Young. Okay? We need to do that ASAP. Bryce Young is like the greatest thing to ever happen to the world, and Jalen Hurts cannot throw. He just can't. Talk like Little Ja. I did not know DJ Reed was the new head coach of Colorado because everybody's saying the greatest cornerback of all time is coaching for Colorado now. As far as I'm aware, that's DJ Reed. I hate dominoes. Oh, how did I forget about the dominoes? Do I think Jerome Tang is the best coach of all time? When Kansas beats Kansas State, that's tonight, right? We play Kansas State next. I don't remember the exact day. Hold on, let me Google that. Yeah, tonight at 8 o'clock. When Kansas wins that game, will Jerome Tang still be the greatest coach ever, or are you going to move on to Bill Self? Trevor threw a pick. Wait, I didn't even see that. I was double-checking when our game is. Darnay Holmes with the interception. Talk like me. Oh, boy. I got to think this one through. What's the most randomly sus thing I can say? Without being offensive. Because, I mean, with Danny, you never know. Yeah, I could obviously say something offensive for Danny, but I'm not going to do that. Jalen Hurts has such a nice package. We'll leave it at that. I love feet. Yes. Cortland Sutton, I want to see his feet. Take off your shoes. That's what he should do for his touchdown celebration, okay? I know Cortland Sutton through my homeschooling experience. Cortland Sutton is, I had to do a whole worksheet on Cortland Sutton because that's what my parents give me for schoolwork. That one wasn't as funny. I feel like I nailed the game's impression, and every single one since then has gone downhill. So I should probably stop. What week is this? This is week 4. Talk like me. I could just scream anything. Because I feel like you type in all caps a lot. Did you win in week 3? Yes, you guys won! That's my impression. Yeah, more me. I should just talk like the games the entire game. That was enjoyable. I think I'm going to do that more often. Maybe one drive per game. I just talk in the perspective of the games. I would enjoy that. I don't know if you guys would enjoy that, but I would have fun with that. Talk like me. Okay. Is Greg Roman making these play calls? That's why our offense is so bad. Because Greg Roman, who needs to go to China, is out here calling these plays for our team. Like, what was that? That might be a holding. I'm scared, but talk like me. Why do I feel like doing an impression of Nick is harder? Which is weird, because I've known him longer. That's a tough one. Where do I start? I don't know where to start. Oh, Joe Woods. My defense sucks. Joe Woods needs to be fired after one bad run. I'm firing my offensive coordinator right now after Nick Chubb gets 4 carries. I'm firing my backup offensive coordinator. There we go. Say something about how Gilmore is delaying the... How is Gilmore delaying the... What? Dog is whimpering at how bad your impression is. No, that's, that might be Goldie. Do me again, do me again. Okay, we did the homeschooling, we did the feet. I'm not going to say anything racist. So where do we go with Danny here? Because those are the big selling points. Here, let's go to our Tua discussion earlier today. Let's see what Danny said there. I said, am I disrespecting Tua for saying he's average but had no dog in him? Danny says, yes. Tua is better than like every old quarterback who's ever existed. He's better than Aaron Rodgers. He's better than Tom Brady. There are not 5 quarterbacks who I would choose over Tua. Can I see Tua's meat now? There we go. The Knicks are eyeing Bay. That would make sense. I don't think it would be unreasonable to expect him to get traded eventually because I don't know if he fits with us long term. What a play after the interception. Who's 7? Is that Diggs? Trayvon Diggs with the pick. So both quarterbacks have now turned it over today. I would take Pickett over Tua. Honestly, that's not that crazy. As someone who has just become a Kenny Pickett guy recently, I don't hate that. Both Diggs, I didn't even realize that. You're right. Yeah, the whole thing I started talking was like the games. Impersonate Theo. Big Tuna sucks. That I'm way better than him, okay? Big Tuna is like irrelevant, and I'm the best. My player is really good. I know I was bad. Did he start with the Bucks? I know I was bad with the Bucks, but it's because they sucked. So I'm gonna get traded to the Ravens, and I'm gonna beat Tuna in the AFC Championship because he is a bum. Why are y'all acting like Tua wasn't the end? Because he wasn't. I mean, he was accurate, he was efficient, but people, for one thing, kind of overrated him. Not that he was bad, but it's not like he was that, like, insane. Nice play by Diggs to put Buffalo on the board, so it's now 14-7. Impersonate Omni. You guys are racist. That's my full impersonation. Because I could go way farther. Good old Omni. What a guy. Nice return. Go farther. He deserves it. Talk like me. I want to know what you'll say. Where should I go with Candy? Hey, Octi, I'll trade you a first-round pick for a smooch. Mwah. Poor Candy gets fleeced in that deal. He only gets a first-round pick, and I get the smooch. Tua was insanely valuable. Was he, though? I mean, he was good. He was efficient. He didn't make many mistakes. But if you put Kenny Pickett in that offense, I don't think they're a whole lot worse. I started it with the games. That was the whole point. My DeGames impression was really good, and my impression for everybody else I don't think has been as good. Did y'all see the Miami offense without him? Skylar Thompson is a 7th-round rookie. He's not some capable backup. Stop this Kenny Pickett stuff. He sucks. I'm afraid you do not know ball, my good sir. Did he nail that? No, he missed it. It looked like it had the distance. Act like Bengals fans after the AFC Championship game. Oh, the refs! The refs suck! Why did the Chiefs get a free play where they got sacked anyway? The Games isn't a real person. It's very easy to emulate. Yeah, I guess he is a little bit easier. I feel like because there's more choices of things I could say. You could have won off the rails with the... I didn't know where to start with a lot of people. I think that's the whole point. If I, thought this through, I feel like I could do a pretty good job. With the Games, it's easy because I know all of his major catchphrases. As Trevor Lawrence launches a bomb off his back foot. I'm real. Are you? You got to do this once a stream. Maybe by the end of this season, I'll know how to do everybody. Act like Gus Johnson. Oh, look at him go on the punt! What? That's all I could think of. Let's do it for the first offensive play of the drive. A punt's not a good example. That was really bad. I'm sorry. That was cringy. Okay. Let's see what happens on the offensive play. I feel like I could do it better with him. There's Josh Allen. He looks to throw it. He takes a shot downfield. And it is... Oh, why does it have to be an exciting play? The whole point with Gus is it's like a boring play that I make exciting. Okay, can we do a boring play for me to do Gus? Nice touchdown by Cortland Sutton, though. The whole point was for the play to be irrelevant. And I was going to act like the world just exploded. But they actually scored. That ruined the whole impression. Okay, hopefully this play isn't a touchdown, because then I can do a good Gus Johnson. No, the best Gus impression is on a random play. Trevor Lawrence looks to throw it. Lawrence says, if they score this play, I swear to God. And it is caught by Diggs! Oh my god! He's got getting away from the cop speed! The problem is he went out of bounds. Okay, enough of the impressions. I'll stop. Gus is great at the big plays, but it's funny like when there's a small play and he still is excited. If you can't tell, I'm not that good at all these impressions. I'm not going to do all the other ones. Although I do have a good one for Chris Collinsworth. We'll do him. 2nd and 3 for the Bills. They have 15 seconds left and a timeout. As Trevor Lawrence is going to look to throw it. He goes for the end zone, and it is broken up. What a play by Patrick Mahomes to make that play for the New England defense. Patrick Mahomes is so good. He made that, and Mahomes is there with the sack. And the Bills are going to have to kick. Okay, now I'm done. That's the last one. Now, here's a guy in Patrick Mahomes who's so good. I should have done now, here's a guy originally. Dude, Tony Romo when he almost said the N-word. That was certainly an interesting clip. He definitely almost said it. Dude, Tony Romo. Jim? What's going to happen here, Jim? All right, now that's the last one. So New England leads 21-10 here over the Bills. New England looks good. Josh Allen's made some nice throws. And the Bills look like a bunch of neo-fascists. All right, let's go to the second half. When did Tony Romo almost say the word? In the last game with the Chiefs and the Bengals. We don't need to see this, EA. Can you let me skip through it? Tony Romo's main thing is that he can predict plays. Yeah, I guess that's true. I can't really predict it because it's Madden. What is there to predict? Madden's so spontaneous. I didn't say Tom. I did not say Tom Romo. I definitely did not call him Tom. I think he was trying to say nickel. You know, I guess that would make sense, but it's not as like interesting. Bills got a score here, or else they could be in a little bit of trouble. And, well, that's a pretty good start. Oh, what a hit! That's definitely a fumble. Number 5 forced and recovered it. What a play! Oh, my goodness. That was such a good play for the Bills, too. And then, boom. Who is 5? Is that Gilmore? Is he on New England? I think he is. Wow. There are 3 nickels around Pacheco. That wouldn't make sense. Maybe he meant Niners. That should have been intercepted. But yeah, there are 3 nickels around Pacheco. Doesn't make sense. Why would you have 3 nickels in one play? I didn't know Stephon Gilmore had, like, Derwin James in him. Apparently, he does. Nice sack, though, by Buffalo. And so now it is 3rd and long. Josh Allen, incomplete. Aiden Hutchinson with the pressure. Niners starts like 9. That's Hitler's favorite word. 9. The neo-fascist Tony Romo himself. All right, back to the point. The Bills, after their turnover, are going to hope Zeke doesn't fumble this one away, and he does not. Nick Kanader. I come back and I hear Hitler's favorite word. Yep, you heard right. That's what I said. Common EA play where the screen doesn't work. Trevor Lawrence is 11 for 21. I didn't touch the quarterback accuracy sliders. These are the same sliders where Travis Flight and Patrick Mahomes were perfect through an entire half. Trevor Lawrence here is 50%. I'm not going to say that. Octi makes me hard. I mean, why would I cancel you for that? That's just, like, odd. Normal conversation in Ohio. That's funny. Lawrence with a shot, and it is intercepted. Another turnover by the New England defense. They'll only get it at the 3. It's Stephon Gilmore again. Yeah, he is number 5. That's his second turnover in the last 2 minutes. There have been a lot of turnovers today, which I have enjoyed. That was an arm punt. That was actually, what an arm punt. Now that I just realized that. It's 2023 and people are still using Ohio memes. Damn right we are. I just want to take a moment to say I sent Octi the perfect keywords to find W. Alexandra Daddario stuff, and he said he didn't feel like it. I'm a busy guy. What can I say? Another interception. Wow, the turnovers galore. Trayvon Diggs with his second of the game. Maybe the interception sliders are a bit high. Maybe. Although I think turnovers are fun. Yeah, no, they're too high. Stephon Gilmore with his third turnover in the last 3 minutes. He has forced 3 turnovers in the second half. The second half started 2.5 minutes ago. What is happening? That's practically like 3 consecutive plays with a turnover. This is wild. What is happening? 4 turnovers within 2.5 minutes, and 3 of them are by the same player. Both of these quarterbacks are morons. They keep making horrible throws. Stop throwing it in double coverage. Exactly. As Josh Allen is sacked by Harold Landry, these defenses look pretty good in the second half, I'm not going to lie. Lawrence watched Mercy Mercado film. Clearly, both of these guys did, not just Lawrence. Josh Allen hasn't been much better. We really went from a Patrick Mahomes and Travis Flight masterclass to this, and these are literally the same sliders. Is there a quarterback intelligence slider? I guess awareness, which these guys clearly have it on 0. What do you think of the Lions having 4 Pro Bowlers? Sewell and Amon-Ra should have been there to begin with, but at least they got recognized now. I don't know how I feel about Jared Goff making it, because that's just more of the reason for him to ask for more money. So, I'm not as enthused about that, but good for him. Good for him, I guess. Josh Allen in the divisional round. Let's not do something stupid, Trevor. Challenge impossible. And he has been just as bad as Josh Allen. It's just that Josh Allen's team is winning. Can the Bills maybe run the ball like a little bit? Zeke has 4 carries. This is like a Nick Chubb level of usage. This isn't good. He's going to throw it into double coverage and it's going to be picked. Watch. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Okay. Hear me out. Music City Miracle was a forward pass. Maybe it was, but still a fire play. But those neo-fascist refs had other ideas. Another nice throw. This has been one of the more odd games I can remember. This whole stream has been one of the most odd streams I can remember. Multiple Meme of the Year candidates. My impression of the games might be the leader in the clubhouse, but EA mixing up everybody's playbooks is not a bad alternative. As Buffalo gets the touchdown, is that Stephon Diggs? The Diggs brothers have had pretty big games for the Bills today. Throwing it to somebody open works. Shocking, I know. You were gaslit by the shadow government to believe it wasn't forward. 2-point conversion time. Trevor Lawrence has about 20 seconds in the pocket, and they get it. What's videos today? Guardians is today. Seems like these quarterbacks turn into Helen Keller for a few plays at a time. Yes, they do. In the Titans prospect profile, I compared Scooter Young, the Miami quarterback, to Cam Newton with a blindfold. Both of these quarterbacks today look a whole lot like the blindfold part. I think Kelsey's going to win the Super Bowl. I don't think so. I think Kelsey's going to win it instead, personally. But that's just me. Josh Allen has plenty of time, and he makes a throw. Frank and I's Twitter war, maybe the whole Frank Jones thing to begin with belongs in the Meme of the Year conversation. Like from start to finish, like everything. Every game for one drive, do a game's impression, like you said. I will advocate for it. I'm down. I don't know if everybody else is, but I'm down. I have as many stats in Frank's game today as he did. That's true. Oh, fumble! Picked up by New England. What the heck? Okay. Third and inches. Good conversion. I didn't draft Will and Hutch for nothing. Fix the sliders for fumble. I might move the fumbles and interceptions a little bit down, but I'm enjoying all the turnovers. This is fun. I don't want too many, obviously, but having plenty of turnovers isn't necessarily a bad thing, just maybe a little less excessive. And that'll wrap up the third quarter. The Patriots lead 21-18 in what has been one of the weirdest games I can remember. 30 passing plays for the Bills, 9 rushes. And since they're down, they're probably going to throw the ball a lot in the fourth quarter, too. Frank also has more wins than the Niners. That is also true. Why is Josh Allen just running backwards? Will Anderson is hurt. That's not good for the Bills. At all. How is this game close? I think both of these teams deserve to lose. They both stink. Especially these quarterbacks. My goodness. They're both horrible. Josh Allen chucks it downfield. What a catch at the 1. There have been a lot of contested catches today. I think that's Devontae. No, it's not. Devontae's on the Titans. Devontae Parker, that is. I'm not talking about Devontae Adams. That looks like Devontae Parker, though, but I know it's not him. This is just normal stuff with Josh Allen. Why are we in play the moments? This is normal Josh Allen, technically. Oh, they scored? Wait, what? They didn't score on that play. Did we, just miss a touchdown? Did the play the moments thing skip the touchdown? Yep. We didn't get to see the touchdown. Why was it on play the moments to begin with? How did the Bills have it at the 28? Wait, what just happened? How did the Bills get the ball at the 28? What? Am I still in play the moments? I'm so lost. Okay. What is happening? I'm so confused. I'm just not going to question it, but I'm so confused. It said Matt Gay missed an 82-yard field goal. Of course he did. How does that happen? They scored a touchdown. They got the extra point. So why would he have kicked an 82-yard field goal? That doesn't make sense, but at this point, nothing today makes sense. So I'm not even going to try to figure it out. Nothing about this stream makes any sense. So now it's a 3rd and 8. And they don't get it. They'll probably kick. Yeah, they should just kick here. No reason to get crazy. This whole stream might just be a meme of the year candidate at this point. From Frank Jones not doing anything, to all the fumbles and the playbooks and all the turnovers in this game, to the impressions, to now whatever the hell the last 2 minutes have been. This whole stream is a meme of the year candidate. Peak play history. Oh, yep, Matt Gay missed an 82-yard field goal on the kickoff. Huh? How does that make sense? It said in the play history, Matt Gay missed an 82-yard field goal on the kickoff. What? I'm so lost. I'm just not going to try to figure it out. Nothing makes sense. So don't try to make sense of it. What if he made it? That would have been funny. We need an overtime for this game. We don't need an overtime. My head's already spinning enough. Buffalo could use a stop right here. And they're going to get it. Big play. Is that Hutchinson? It is. Aiden Hutchinson. Real talk, if it went through the uprights, would have been a field goal. That's a good question. Would it have counted as a field goal? That should be a rule. If a kicker makes a kick through the uprights on a kickoff, it should be a point. That'd be fun. I think that should be a rule. We need to up the interception slider. There's 2. Yeah, we've only had 5 interceptions in this game. That's definitely not, like, a lot. No, totally not. Yeah, because it's normal for Trevor Lawrence to throw 3 picks. I think he threw 3 picks in week 3, so I guess it's not that unreasonable. So EA basically gave the Bills 3 extra points and more time. Yeah, exactly. There should be 10. The NFL is a quarterbacks league. Well, if it's a quarterback league, then why should there be 10? That doesn't make sense. Or the OFL, yeah, same thing. This stream is why I bought Madden 8. Like Madden 08 or Madden 8? Is there a Madden 8? If the Bills win because of that, that would be funny. Although the Bills probably need to score on this drive, or else they might not. Under 4 minutes to go. 3rd and 10. And they got it. And a big play after the catch for 85, all the way to the 10. Is that the tight end? Who's the tight end? Oh, it's Van Jefferson. Mercy Mercado would throw 9 of those interceptions. He would throw 11 of those 10 interceptions, personally. They should not make a new Madden next year and take extra time to make the new one better. I don't think that's, like, a terrible take, but, like, EA has the ability to make a good game within a year. We should just hold them more accountable, which we already kind of do, and they still don't listen. So, maybe it's an issue of time, but even so, like, they've had good features in the game in the past. So, they know they can do it. Or do they? The NFL official YouTube challenge just posted a top 5 fails, and number 2 was just like the entire Broncos. That's funny. You should hold them more accountable by not buying the game. That's a good response, but, like, it's also technically my job, in a way. So, The only person who'd be losing in that scenario if I did that was me. For other people, yes, I think that's a good response. As the Patriots get a goal line stand on 4th down. I thought that was 3rd down for whatever reason, but it was 4th down. So New England now can chew some clock and try to win this odd game once and for all. Both teams deserve to lose, but maybe New England deserves to lose just a little bit less. Dan is our new king. New? Oh, Dan Dutton. Oh, I thought you meant Dan like the old quarterback. The only appropriate ending to this game would 100% be a tie. I agree. I want a tie. Corporations either don't care or don't recognize when people hate something, but still paid for it. You're not wrong. As Travis Etienne nearly gets a first down to end the game. So Buffalo's not going to have any timeouts, but they can certainly drive down the field and win. Who is the best player in all of OFL 22? I mean, you can make the case for some pass rushers on... Oh, Joe Mixon. Definitely Joe Mixon. Never mind. It's not a question. Joe Mixon. There's a reason why I was so excited when I drafted him this year. Although he's been kind of quiet. He hasn't been bad. But I would say Joe Mixon's probably the answer. Russell Wilson, I feel like, is the most valuable because he's a quarterback. But how many players have been like an offensive or defensive player of the year candidate every year? Maybe like DeMarcus Lawrence, Joe Mixon's teammate. Is there anybody else? Any like receiver? Not really. So I would say Joe Mixon personally. 3rd and 20. Tipped, and fittingly, it is intercepted by, take a guess, Stephon Gilmore, who in the second half alone has 3 interceptions, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. Stephon Gilmore just had like the greatest defensive game ever. So, just so you guys are aware, we just watched history today. Has a player ever gotten 4 I guess players have gotten 4 interceptions in a game before. I think a number of players have gotten 4 in a game. I believe that's the record. So New England wins 28-21. I don't know what to make of this game because nothing made sense the entire day. So we're not going to try to make it make sense because it just doesn't. Both quarterbacks were pretty bad, but Trevor Lawrence was worse. But let's not defend Josh Allen. He didn't have some like great game. Travis Etienne was good. Zeke didn't get the ball enough. Cortland Sutton with nearly 200 yards. Two and a half sacks for Harold Landry, Titans franchise legend, keeping it going here. 3 interceptions for Stephon Gilmore, 2 for Diggs, 1 for Darnay Holmes. And then Gilmore and Farley each forced a fumble. Gilmore had a recovery. Gilmore casually put together a generational game, and it was still overshadowed by EA Sports. You're not wrong. Jim Hardy had 8. What the hell? No way that's a real stat. The NFL record is 4. Right? It's 4. Yeah, it's 4. All these players had 4. D'Angelo Hall was the most recent one to have 4 in 2010. He played in the 20s. I didn't even realize they threw the ball 8 times a game in the 20s. All right, let's end the week. Who did we play? We played the Texans. That's right. Yeah, Houston's a tough team, so I could see us losing that game. Hopefully not, though. The Raiders lose to the Broncos. Denver with a good stream today, going 2-0. They win in overtime. Desmond Ridder and Kenny Pickett were both good. 2 scores for Jonathan Taylor. Big game for Treylon Burks and DJ Moore. Brian Burns with a couple of sacks. The Rams beat the Seahawks 31-24. They are now 2-2. Jim Hardy was the quarterback. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I was going to say, Mahomes did not play well. Cooper Kupp with only 4 catches. That's low for him. How did Frank do? What if he doesn't show up again? That'd be really funny. I don't see anyone with a J. Oh, no, here's the J. Oh, it's by first name. F. Jones. 3 tackles, 1 for a loss. Not bad. I think in the end of game screen, it's by last name, but that, like, here it's by first name, I think. The Ravens beat the Steelers 42-23. Sammy Slater with a good game. Joe Burrow, not so much. Not a great stream for the Steelers as they go 0-2. DeAndre Swift with a big game. Hollywood Brown performed well. 2-2 is not good. It's not bad, though. It's not good, but it's not bad. Seattle lost. The Snowhawks lost to the Vikings. Frank Jones only plays well in even weeks. When did the Seahawks play the Niners again? Better hope it's an even week. The Steamers beat the Jets 21-14. Over-under Nick Chubb carries 6.5. He's averaged less than 5 a game, so keep that in mind. Gino! What happened, dude? This guy threw 6 touchdowns last week. Today, his passer rating is 21. Man, Dallas' defense really does suck. At least Breece Hall played well. What a 180. And the Jets used the same playbook. This is why playbooks actually don't really matter that much. Yeah, yay, we lost. Woohoo. Why do we suck in the fourth quarter? We allowed 14 points in the fourth quarter last week, too. This time it cost us, though. Lamar Jackson was solid. Matt Corral played well. That's good. If nothing else, at least Corral was good. Rashad Bateman played. Rashad Bateman's literally been our best receiver. Where's J-Mo? Why is he not doing anything? Rashad Bateman's been our best receiver this year. I don't think that's a good thing. Both of our corners with interceptions. That's good. Yes, you guys did win, unfortunately. The Titans lost to the... Wow, the Oilers are 3-1. Why isn't Joe Mixon doing anything? I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it yet, but it's not ideal. Both QBs played very well. Isaiah Thomas with his best career game. And shout out to Zip and Zappy. He was really good both weeks. Calvin Mentor with another 11 catches. He is really good. Him and Isaiah Thomas have a nice little connection. The Chargers lost to the Orbits 35-31. Orlando, the big comeback in the fourth quarter. Mercy Mercado. Not bad. Justin Herbert also not bad. So in the land of overreacting, is Mercy Mercado now like the greatest young quarterback in the league? After 2 weeks ago, he was almost benched. Man, the Chargers cannot catch a break. The Dreadnoughts beat the Colts. I'm beating the curse, guys. It's only week 4. I don't know if I can get ahead of myself. But you are playing very well. Speaking of playing very well, Jalen Hurts had a great game. Kirk Cousins was also pretty good. Michael Thomas and Kyle Pitts both played very well. I want to apologize to Mercy Mercado. I was not very familiar with your game. The Commanders get revenge on the Eagles. They win 38-35. Didn't Nick say at the beginning of the stream they were 2-2? Well, he was right. It's actually unfortunate you had to play against my actual playbook and you couldn't get the 6 passing touchdowns like everyone else did. I mean, at least Corral played well. Bryce Young he actually outplayed Mac Jones despite losing. This is why they lost. 2.7. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Brandon Ayuk with over 100 yards each. Both of my Amon-Ra and Ayuk agendas are pleased. Aaron Donald with 3 sacks. You know, maybe I should have picked him over Joe Mixon because he's been a lot better than Joe this year. The Cougars beat the Nighthawks, so nobody is undefeated anymore. Russell Wilson and C.J. Stroud were both pretty mediocre. Josh Jacobs was good. McCaffrey fumbled twice. He had the same amount of fumbles as his yards per carry. Frank Clark with 3 sacks. Bop, bop. The Cowboys beat the Niners handedly, 34-14. Sean Watson was solid. He only threw the ball 21 times. Does that mean what I think it means? 23 carries for 146 yards and a touchdown. This is why did he only have 5 yards per carry, though? Or yards after contact, not yards per carry. I'm stupid. But Nick Chubb got the ball. J.K. Dobbins still got it too much. But still, Nick Chubb actually had a role. Ironically, against his OFL team last year, the Niners, where his role was also, it felt like, especially in watch games, inconsistent. The Desperados lose to the Lions. Detroit is no longer winless. Justin Fields actually was decent. Jermaine Johnson with 3 sacks for the Lions. Sauce Gardner and Patrick Queen with interceptions. The Chargers are now the only winless team. That's unfortunate. Poor Chargers. The Explorers beat the Panthers 30-27 in overtime, so Carolina's starting to come back down to earth. P.J. Walker was good. He outplayed Hector. Carl Lawson with 3 sacks. The Niners lost. The Golden Eagles are 3-1. They beat the Monarchs by 11. Why did Baker Mayfield play? Did Karen Rodgers get hurt? David Montgomery played well in his first game back. So the Golden Eagles might be kind of good. You're acting like outplaying Hector is a feat. Last year, Hector's quarterback won an MVP, so it's a feat. Who did we use her? We used her New England. So I believe that is everybody. Here are your stat leaders. Isaiah Thomas is the passing yards leader. Any Bengals? No love for the Bengals. Yeah, and Hector won Player of the Week in Week 1, too. Players of the Week, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, Aaron Donald, and, no surprise, Stephon Gilmore. How is Brees not leading in rushing? Because Derrick Henry is really good. So nobody's undefeated. The Chargers are the only winless team. And here's a look at the draft order. We might be adding something regarding that. Hint, hint. So the AFC North is perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Go division. The Oilers lead the South at 3-1. New England and the Orbits are tied in the East at 3-1. Denver leads the West pretty comfortably. The rest of the division only has 2 combined wins. In the North, the Vikings have first place. In the South, it's the Golden Eagles. In the East, the Cougars and Commanders are tied at the top. And in the West, the Nighthawks still hold first place despite losing this past week. All right, let's look at the injuries. New England with a couple. Chandler Jones, that happened last time. Budda Baker tore his labrum. What happened? Sean Tucker ruptured disc. That's right. Josh Allen has 2 more weeks. Terrell Burgess broke his collarbone. I think that happened in the watch game. Aaron Jones broke his thumb. He'll miss a game. Eric McCoy hurt his knee. The Desperados with a few on their front 7. No! Greg Dortch got hurt! Did he play last week? He did. 2 catches for 23 yards. Greg, no! That's so sad. Greg Dortch got hurt. That's unfortunate. All right, we'll take a quick look at some of the stats leaders, and we'll also look at a couple of the user players. So Rodgers got hurt, and I guess he's fine. Who's the highest passer rating? That honor technically belongs to Bailey Zappi. After him, Aaron Rodgers, and Sam Darnold is in third. How high is Corral? He's got to be pretty high. He's having a good year. Yeah, decently high. Who is the worst among the quarterbacks? Probably Justin Fields. No, it's Trevor Lawrence. About 83. It's like not that bad. That's the worst quarterback? Why is every QB so good? Here are the rushing leaders currently. Oh, Joe Mixon is kind of high. Okay, I guess he's not doing that bad. Calvin Mentor is the receiving yards leader. He probably leads in catches by a landslide. Yes, he does. Calvin Mentor's been the best receiver in the league this year through 4 weeks. The worst offensive lineman has been Jack Conklin, Chukwuma Okorafor, and Gabe Jackson with 6 sacks allowed each. And then in terms of defense, we'll go by conference. The AFC, sacks, 5 for Javon Hargrave. Jordan Willis with 5 as well. Gilmore has 3 interceptions, all of which happened in 1 half. TFLs in the NFC is Myles Garrett. Sacks is Trey Hendrickson. Interceptions is Deshaun Elliott and Eric Kendricks. And then we want to see Frank and John Johnson requested for his too, so we'll take a look at them. So Frank has 13 tackles, 3 for a loss, and no sacks. While John Johnson has 17 tackles, 1 for a loss, no sacks. Hunter Ruth. We're not going to go through every team. We'll do that more as the season goes along. Tony Pollard. How's Big Tony doing? Not very good. Sorry, Tony. All right, let's take a look at weeks 5 and 6. Here's week 5. We play Seattle. That's interesting. Roof is a Monarch. Did I look at New England? We'll go to the Monarchs in a second. I don't know why I checked New England. Kind of want to watch the Oilers. They've been really good so far. Week 6. We played Baltimore. Oilers, Golden Eagles. I kind of want to watch this. These two teams are playing well so far this year. All right, let's go to the Monarchs. Check Mr. Ruth, then check Jordan Addison, and then I guess we'll be good. The Monarchs. 15 tackles and a pick. And then Jordan Addison. 12 for 176 and 2. All right, that'll wrap it up. I appreciate you all for bearing with me during the playbook thing. That was very annoying, but that's all been fixed. Next stream will be, I don't know. We'll see. I'll let you know within the next couple of days when that'll be. So, yeah, peace out.